Welcome to Guffanti Brunettes. It's a little dark in here today.
It's a little dark in here. My name's
spooky.
Emily.
Mine's Sophia.
And we've got Pete on sound, the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time.
It's been a wonky day. The microwave's open. Today is really, really weird.
It's a strange day for sure.
I woke up this morning and I was like, well, by the time everyone's listening to this, it's not going to be the strange day anymore, but today's a weird day. I woke up this morning and I was like, it's going to be a weird day. I posted that on my story. I got to work. My boss was like, I totally agree. It's a weird day. And then I had a weird day. You had a weird day.
I had a weird day. I woke up at 12 p.m.
Pete had a weird day. We're all kind of feeling a little weird
We're
right
all
now.
a little sleepy.
Yeah.
I woke up at 12 p.m. and then right before
And
I
you're
came...
sleepy?
I'm sleepy still. I'm always sleepy.
Yes.
I mean, I still have the Epstein-Barr virus. That never goes away.
True.
So I'll always have that. But right before I came, I did have my eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I had my eggs.
You always have your eggs.
I have been overcooking them. Dominic, you guys know my brother who has really bad OCD. So I usually get sidetracked when I'm making my eggs. So I always overcook them.
And they come out like rubber?
And they come out like rubber and they're disgusting. So I'm literally cooking my eggs and Dominic's downstairs while I'm doing it. And he was like, they're done. As he's washing his hands and doing a million other things, he was like, they're done. I was like, how did you know that? And he was like, because of the crackle of the eggs. I was like, what? So now as long as Dominic's in the kitchen and hears the crackle of the eggs, my eggs are perfect.
Well, overcooked eggs, I mean, as someone when I start eating eggs, I get sick of them within 2 minutes. I'm over the eggs.
I know.
So if they are overcooked, I won't even begin.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at a hard egg, forget it. I don't even like omelets.
You don't do an over
egg.
easy or an over medium with all the juice of the egg?
I can get into that. I like that in a warm bowl. I like that that's it.
Over potatoes on a skillet.
Over potatoes on a skillet, I like it, but I don't like digging into a cooked egg, especially not on an omelet. I get really grossed out. I'm like, why don't I just eat what's in the omelet and not have the gross egg around it?
Everything else but the omelet. Just don't get the omelet.
On Sunday, we went to brunch at Sarah Beth's on the Upper West Side. Highly recommend.
Amazing.
So delicious. And on the menu, and we had a waiter who was out of a movie.
He was supposed to be an actor, but he wasn't. He was just a waiter.
Everybody asks me that.
And we feared asking him if he was an actor because you were like, no, because some people are just waiters. And then we asked him and he was just a waiter.
Yeah. But then, no, he could be something else. Maybe he's not an actor.
He said that he was a model when he was young.
I know, and I didn't want to be like, so what do you do then? Because then he'd be like, this. And I remember one time when I was working in coffee, someone was like, so what do you do? Not that you can't just be doing that. And I was like, ugh, now I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There are people who are in the service industry as careers, and that's normal.
It's fine to be in the service career.
But this man was an actor.
He was amazing. He was the best waiter.
Anyway, I was asking him what to get, and I ordered eggs with cream cheese and scallions in them.
I've never even heard of that.
Me neither. But what wound up happening was the eggs got delivered to me, and I searched for the cream cheese, and when the cream cheese and scallions were gone, I was done with my eggs.
And then I finished them
and then
for you.
You finished my eggs.
And we got the banana. I ate fucking everything. And I still had room for dinner when I got home.
Oh, well, naturally.
No, that's disgusting. I can't even believe what I've been doing.
I had dinner that night. John had gotten home from LA and we went to his parents' apartment and his parents ordered a big Chinese food order. And I had so much Chinese food.
Well, I said
Han Dynasty.
What I'm doing is I'm just getting my stomach ready for the holidays and for the fall. I lose all this weight.
Yeah.
I lose all this weight in the summer, but now I'm getting it ready. It has to get a little bit bigger. We're training it to get bigger.
You got to train for the marathon.
I'm training my stomach.
You told me, you were like, Em, when I say I'm working out, I mean I'm working out my stomach.
My stomach.
I'm getting it bigger and
It's
bigger.
gotta get bigger. It's only fist size right now because I was starving for so long.
I've been actually starving, and last night Jamie said to me,
Jamie comes up skinny.
Thank
honestly.
you. Jamie comes up in every episode, and she said that to me. She's like, I love when I listen and I hear my reference. But last night she was like, you look skinny, Em. What are you doing? And I was like, thanks, and I'm not eating. But it wasn't people are gonna listen to that and be like, you're promoting, but fuck off. All right.
I mean,
it was an accident.
Anyone who listens knows that this isn't to
Be
you're not
careful.
Gonna,
I know, but I will say that it truly was an accident. I didn't mean to start not eating as much. Sometimes I just get. I think what happened was there was one day. Actually, I think what really did happen. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I got booked on this job for work where I'm editing now. I don't want to. I can't say the name. I don't think of the. I can't talk about it.
It's
really.
okay. Yeah, don't say it.
But I'm editing a commercial that's going to go to broadcast, and then a couple social spots for this client, and that's like 10-hour days, and it's been like a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's like crazy when like you have to go to your job and like actually do
You
work.
actually have to do work. Why do you have to go to work and work?
Yeah, it's like real, and I'm doing 10-hour days, and I'm not kidding you. Like start to finish, I am working. Like there's a lot to do, and it's been crazy. And I think the first day of that was like a week ago, and I didn't have time to eat. Like I literally didn't have time to eat. I never believe anyone who says that, but like you know what I mean. And then like once you have one morning when you wake up hungry for breakfast and skinny, you're kind of like, this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then I just like wasn't eating that much, and I was like looking better. And so now I've like lost my, even when we were at Sarah Beth's, I'm not like dying to stuff my face because I'm like looking good and feeling good, and I'm not eating. I told Jamie, I was like, it's kind of, I shouldn't say that I'm not eating because that sounds fucked up. Like I'm literally just not eating like a pig anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was eating like treacherous meals, and like now I'm just eating normal sized meals. Actually, I'm
And then
skipping
everybody
breakfast.
asks you when you're eating a normal sized meal, they're like, Em, are you okay? Are you going to be all right? You're eating normally.
Yeah, like
Because
my
they're
boss
so
was like,
used
"You're
to
only
you-
getting a salad," and I was like, "Fuck!" I've really made a reputation. For weeks there, we would order parm, this restaurant parm, and I was getting eggplant parm sandwiches for lunch every day with mozzarella sticks on the side for lunch.
That's amazing, though.
And like 2 cups of cereal for breakfast, and then coming home and like ordering in, probably having a snack, and like I was eating like a king because I am a king.
I had 2 bagels with scallion cream cheese this morning.
Today?
Yeah. Today. This morning, 2 bagels with scallion
I
cream cheese.
love going in for a second bagel.
Yeah, and then we had some pumpkin spice latte that was like in a can, and I drank that. And I'm
Ew,
like,
that sounds
It wasn't
nasty.
even good, and I drank the whole thing.
Are pumpkin spice? I know what that feels
I
like
need,
too.
you know what? You know how I said I quit work, and now like I guess I can't because they just keep asking me to stay an extra week, and like I haven't left yet. But now that I'm spending so much time home, like from not being there, like I eat all day.
Well, what else?
Maybe
do you do?
maybe I'm like I should just keep the job. Life is giving me the opportunity to keep the job because they're like, just stay.
Well, I get that about the eating thing because, like I literally just said, now that I have to do so much work at work, I don't have time. Like when we order lunch, I'm like, just anything. Like I'm literally so pressed for time. So like I feel like having a job, or like having work to do and being busy, I feel like forces you to not be able to sit around and eat all day, because my favorite thing to do when I'm home for the day is eat.
That's my favorite thing to do. You asked me when we were at Sarah Beth's.
Yeah.
You were like, what do you like better, Sophia? Sex or food? And I was, sex or food?
That is not what I said. I said if you had to give up one for the rest of your life.
I said
or food?
sex. I would
Pete,
give up sex for
If you
sure.
had to give up sex or food, what would you give up? Sex? Is it that easy of a choice?
Does Pete like food as much as we do?
Do you like? He likes surviving.
Oh, but survival's not part of it.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna live no matter what. Do you do food or sex? Which do you give up? It's not gonna make you die to not have whatever one you choose. That's really hard, right?
Pete loves life, though.
I don't know. I like. Do you? What do you think? I was going back and forth about it too, because I'm like, if I don't have sex for like a week, I'm like, what's happening here? What's going on?
But
I'm like really upset.
you do have your boyfriend, your baby. Oh, it's dead.
Oh, the camera already died.
That's all we got for today. Sorry, viewers. You're gonna have to listen on Spotify.
Yeah, all right.
It was just that kind of day.
Yeah, no, it's a weird day.
You know what?
Continue.
Maybe if I had someone I loved, I wouldn't give up their sex. No, I would still choose food.
Yeah,
Food is so enjoyable to me.
Food is so enjoyable, but like having sex with someone you're in love with is like really, really cool.
Like looking into their
really
eyes and
cool.
looking
No,
into their eyes
there
and
was-
getting fucked.
Not looking into their eyes. Did I ever tell you about the one time when I came?
Did you ever?
Okay, it's a good
did you
story.
ever have sex and like say "I love you" during sex?
No, we are not that kind of people. No, we are nasty. We are nasty. We've
you
never
guys
been
talk?
like, oh my god, this like it's never romantic sex. It's always dirty and nasty and mean. And
And it's interesting because you're actually in love. You know, I've
Right.
had sex with like my exes, and they were like, I love you.
Ew.
love you.
That's so weird to me.
Eyes, looking into their eyes.
Well, to me, the act of making love is showing that you love. That's why once John and I had already been dating and then I was single again for a little while, I enjoyed sex with people that I had sex with that weren't like, sex is enjoyable, but like once you have love sex, it's like really, at least I think for women, it's like really hard to like anything else more than when you're fucking someone you love. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. But so to me, when I'm having sex with someone I love, one person ever, it's like doing the thing is expressing my love, and then telling him like fucking hit me is its own thing. Like the act doesn't have to match the words.
You don't need to say it because you're showing it enough that he feels it.
Right, like I'm doing this with you. That means
he knows
to
it.
Me.
So he could still slap you across the face and feel the love.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you have rough sex like that, Em? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, it's not like crazy. I wonder if he can hear us right now. John's up in bed.
No, he's watching
sick.
Spider-Man.
I know, and he always says he can't hear us, but I have a feeling he can.
No, that door, you can't hear anything past that door.
That's true.
Now, was it open or closed for when you were projectile vomiting in the middle of the night this past weekend?
It was open.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I'm such a good friend. I was going to stick my tip nail down your throat.
You're calling it your tip nail.
Pete was there for that. I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick my my tip nail down her throat, and she's going to throw up, and she's going to feel so much better. Throw up.
And eventually I did, but not from your tip nail, from my own sickness.
And as drunk as you were, you still had...
I cleaned up.
Yeah, you cleaned up, and you still had... But you had puke fright. You didn't want anyone else to see but me.
Yeah, that was true. That's true. We went into the bathroom and at an apartment party, and we went into it wasn't really a party. Anyway, and you couldn't successfully...
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night, and you were just
projectile. Okay.
Yeah.
So my sex is not that rough. I think I'm exaggerating it for the humor's sake.
Yeah.
But I've never been one to really like sex that's like, you're so beautiful.
Like vanilla.
Yeah.
Like vanilla. I don't
Come
actually...
on, we're being animals.
I don't either, and I mean, I just like to get tossed around a little bit.
I like wild and crazy.
I really don't like getting my hair pulled. I've had one too many bad experiences, and it just hurts. And
People actually like yank on your hair?
There was 2 people that did that to me. It was the guy from last week's episode, and I was like, I really don't like it.
Wait, I thought you guys didn't have sex.
We didn't have sex, but he was pulling my hair.
Ugh.
And then there was a guy from high school that was pulling my hair, and he also said, you do like it, after I said I don't like it.
Don't just... Oh, that guy?
Ew.
I don't like him.
No,
Dirty boy.
I don't like him either.
Mean boy.
Yeah.
Dangerous
We went
boy.
to a party, and you actually helped me come off my shirt.
You always tell me this, and
You
I
don't remember
it.
that.
Was it
You
like
did.
New Year's or something?
I don't remember when it was. It was a high school party. We were probably both trashed. And you're like, Sophia. And you're like,
That's like
let
my
me
one
help.
line.
You're like, let me help you. Come in the bathroom.
Yeah. Bathroom buddies.
Bathroom buddies always.
I do want to tell the story now that's been brought up of the one time. So I'm not going to spoil the ending. There was one time at my old apartment when John and I were having sex. It's not that much of a setup, but we were having sex, and like I was about to come, and he was on top of me, and somehow I was looking at him, and we held eye contact through my entire orgasm. No, it was actually like I was fucked up for a week from that shit. I don't care how much I love you, to look someone in the eyes. I want you to imagine, it's like you're sitting on the toilet. Imagine sitting on the toilet, and right as you're halfway through your shit,
You're like trying to look away.
your shit is actually halfway out of your body. Bradley Cooper sits in front of you and looks right into your eyes as the poop is coming right out of your ass. That's exactly what it felt like. And I couldn't look away. And he was looking at me, and I was like, oh my God. Like,
oh no.
my most vulnerable. And so now I always say, like, I sold my soul to the devel.
Yeah.
I'm never getting it back.
Oh my gosh, you're so vulnerable in that moment.
It was literally like Bird Box. When
have
they're
seen-
like,
I have seen
don't
it.
look, don't look. And then you look and you're like, oh! You've seen the memes. It's like, look at the light, and they're like just holding your eyes.
What was his reaction to it? Was he fucked up for weeks from it? Who was doing it? Were you the one who was?
It was an accident. It was truly an accident on both ends.
Well, let's try. You were like, let's try this.
No, he was on top, and I think it was because I didn't expect to come, and then I was like, I'm gonna come, and then I did, and I was looking at him, and I think as it started to happen, we were both like, oh my God, and I just kept looking at him, and like I really like. I've never had my soul since that moment. I said goodbye to my soul.
My ex-boyfriend only used to like it when we looked into each other's eyes.
So you've experienced?
I've experienced that, like the whole relationship.
Is it not insane?
I honestly liked it.
No, I loved the intensity of it.
The
but
relationship
it's crazy.
was fucked up though,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why, because we were staring into each other's eyes whenever we had sex, and he would come, and I would have to stare at his face and into his eyes as he. As his mouth was like wide open.
Oh my God. Wait, that's actually crazy.
For like a full minute.
Well, I guess it's also like if someone is seeing you, because I would think, if I pictured the boyfriend you're talking about, I would think
you know exactly who it is.
If I saw him and I looked into his eyes and I saw his cum face, I think I'd never be able to look at him with a straight face ever again.
No, I remember.
So now I get, because I tried to make John come while looking in my eyes. After that, I was like, you gotta experience this, and he'd always like. Even while we're having sex, obviously he wouldn't get too lost in it where he would. He'd be like, and then like look away. And I know it's because I had a fear, like when I was coming like into his eyes, I had a fear that like, well, now you've seen everything. You've seen my cum face. You've seen my soul when I'm coming. Like that's an intense moment of vulnerability.
Yeah. You know what? He actually never saw I don't think he would ever see my cum face, because whenever I was having sex, we wouldn't come at the same time.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's rare.
You know?
Right. And then so if you've come first and then you're watching him come in his eyes.
I wouldn't like that, because after I come, even though girls are supposed to be able to come multiple times, it takes me a minute. So I can't just keep going.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So like once I stop, I immediately regret everything that's happened. I feel bad about everything. I think God hates me.
Yeah. That's Christian guilt.
Whether I believe in him or not, God hates me. Someone up there hates me, and I regret everything I just did. I'm like, what am I doing?
It's very interesting to me how people feel like right after they're done having sex, because I feel like I've sometimes had I know people who are in loving relationships, and after they have sex, they're like, get the fuck away from me for like just a second, please.
Yeah.
Like I need a moment.
That's me.
I feel like after, oh really?
That's totally me. I need like a good 5. Give me 5.
Yeah.
Give me a wow and 5.
I feel like after it's done, am now worried that I am just a sex toy.
You're like, this is all I'm
like
good
no matter
for.
what, no matter who I've ever had sex with, usually when it's over, I'm like, oh,
well, yeah, that's
I'm
what
a
I
body.
mean. That's what I mean. It's that regretful feeling right after sex.
But not that. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's not true. I don't think I'm just a body.
No,
After
but it is something that just happens in your mind right after.
Yeah.
Like, right after you come, it's like such a good feeling. It's almost like the come down.
It is.
You have to come down after an orgasm.
Yeah, there's a
realized
Japanese
this.
term actually for. I know a comic who has a joke about this. There's a Japanese term for the feeling after you've just come, and I think it translates in English to philosopher man.
Really?
Like you just really are so pensive and in your head.
Whoa! I wonder if
think.
does the same thing happen for guys, Pete? Getting like
immediately.
right after you come. Do you get like immediately upset or like regretful, or do you like feel any specific way, or you're just like tired?
It really depends on the context.
Yeah, I mean I think that feeling is like always when you masturbate. I think that it's happened.
Masturbation is always a regretful
I'll look
feeling.
at the lesbian porn I'm
makes me
watching
feel-
and I'm like,
yeah.
you are sluts.
I know, me too. I get mad at them. I'm like, what are they doing with their lives?
A minute ago, I was like, fucking marry me. Fucking marry me right here, right
I was
now.
like, tits jiggling.
Oh, what else? That's a lot of sex.
I know, a lot of sex talk.
We don't really usually talk
Makes
about
me
sex
want
that much.
some. Oh, I just went to therapy, and he was like, maybe you don't need to do this for a while. You don't need to be in a relationship. You need to stop dating. You're not going to have any sex. We just had that conversation, and I'm like, you know what? I think I want to feel a little bad now. I think I want to have some sex and feel bad right after.
How was the sex with the South African guy?
I was so drunk, I don't even remember. But I remember loving it. But
Yeah.
that was all I really remember. South Africa
how
was
did we-
amazing, though.
Yeah.
He was great. But we haven't talked after.
Yeah. That's what it was.
I think
Sometimes
I
it's
scared
just
him
physical.
with curly pubes.
I think you did. We went out to shoot curly pubes. I picked you up from there, and you were like, no. It's this because if no one knows, first of all, me or the context of like, it's a comedy. So like, you can't explain curly pubes to someone. And you said to this guy like, yeah, I'm going to shoot this pubes music video. So it's like everybody's got curly pubes, and like the guy was like blank,
And
right?
he was blank. He didn't. I was like, "What? You don't think it's funny?" He was like, "Well." He was like, I mean, nobody likes curly pubes. And then I was like, I mean, that's what the song's about.
But
You
we've
can
all
relate
got
to
them.
it. And we all got them. And then he was just like, no, I don't think it's funny. I was like, well, that's what I'm going to record. And I was like, gotta go.
Yeah.
And then he didn't say bye as I left. And
Oh my God,
he
right.
didn't say bye as I left. And he texted me. He's like, where did you go? Like, I didn't know you were leaving. And I just like kind of said bye really quick and like ran out of there. Cause you immediately, I don't know. With one night stands, don't you kind of feel like you're like, it's my duty to get out of here. And I'm doing you a favor.
Oh yeah, the morning. If I've ever slept with someone else's, the morning after, I'm like, I should go.
Yeah, I'm like, what did you want to hang out all day? No, I don't.
It's the worst.
If you
Like,
did,
get out
that
of
would
my
have been.
face.
I mean, it's very nice of him to want to hang out all day, but like, don't
Have
you
you
feel
ever had a sober one night stand?
a sober? No, not a sober one night stand. It wasn't like I slept there, but that kid. Oh shit! I said his name.
It's just his
Bleep that
first
out.
name.
That kid was like kind of a one night stand.
No, I mean like sex. You sleep over one. That's a one night stand to me. Like you have
A
sex.
sober
and sleep over.
one? No, I don't think. Have
I don't
you?
think- I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever had a sober.
I would never be that impulsive. If
There was this guy in high school where I used to go over, like the summer before college, I would drive over in the middle of the day and have sex in his house and then leave. But that's not, and it was continuous, so I guess it's not.
It wasn't a
one-night stand.
one night stand.
I don't think I've ever, Pete, have you ever had it? No, I don't think I've ever had a sober one night
I
stand.
don't think anyone would. It's just like it's impulsive. Like
There was
you do
one-
it because it's so wrong that it feels good and you're drunk.
Right. I had a one night, I went on this Hinge date one time with this guy who looked really cute and was very like intellectual. And then we went for tea. And then I realized that he's like a freak.
Always.
And like super Jewish and like worked in finance and like lived like just like such a freak. Those are mean. I'm Jewish.
But he's like a super.
He was like just like a temple Jew. Like, you know what I mean?
So
like,
it's really funny
He
you're
would have been in my
saying-
Hebrew school class and like been the smartest in the class. And I was like, I didn't know that talking to him. And then we met in person and we went on a date for tea. And then I was like, I'm just now thinking, well, if I would have went home and had sex with him at 4 p.m, I guess that could have been my sober one night stand.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't.
It's so funny you said that though, because I said I went off Hinge. I said I went off Tinder. I lied. I'm still on it. And
Naturally.
there was this guy who I talked to for a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore because I got spooked after that last experience.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went back and I continued the conversation. I'm talking to him. And in his Hinge bio, it says, believe it or not, I have more than 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. So you know how on Hinge it says their first and their last name unless they like change it.
When you like them. When they like you.
After they like you, yeah. So I go and I look. We'd been talking for a little bit. I was supposed to go out with him tomorrow. I don't think I should. I look.
Where
at
does he
his-
live? New York?
He lives in Pennsylvania, but I think like New Jersey border, Pennsylvania. Super cute. I go look at his page, and he has this whole. He's like a Christian. He's a Christian, like almost like a priest. He's like talking about like all the things that like how he met God and like how he spoke
Where
to
do you
Jesus
fucking
and
find these guys?
where he saw how he saw the devil and like he had pictures of like he doesn't drink and I was like, what am I gonna do on that? You could never tell by talking to him. If I really want to show you it.
Show me
I
him.
really want to show you him.
I really don't know where you find these guys though that are like so crazy and out there.
I don't know what.
I mean, you match with them. I mean, what vibes do you give off to them?
I mean, his taste. I mean, maybe it's my taste. Like, there's something a little off about me.
What
but,
lip
like,
color are you wearing?
I'm wearing it's MAC strip down liner with Kat Von D bow and arrow.
Okay.
And then like a little gloss on top.
Yeah,
oh no,
it
you know what I'm wearing? I put nipple cream on my lips now.
You do?
It's called lanolin and it's for crusty nips, but it does one. I'm so glad you asked. It does wonders for your lips.
Oh, like a chapstick? Because your lips look really great.
Thank you. Yeah,
I was looking at them.
It's super glossy. Lanolin. I think it's actually like sheep sweat.
It's for crusty nipples?
Crusty nipples, but my lips, you know that since I've been little, my lips have been super crusty. Like no matter what, if I wear like, and it's not even like lips, my lips bleed in the winter. It's true. So I I looked up online, like in my history, I have crusty lips. So I went out and I bought this lanolin for nipples. And people swear by it. It really works.
What does lanolin mean?
It's
linoleum.
No, it's lanolin. No, it's
How do you spell it?
Lanolin.
Lanolin, exactly how it sounds.
Lanolin.
And it's sheep sweat?
It's sheep. I think it's sheep sweat. It comes from a sheep.
And it's sheep
sweat, and it really moisturizes and hydrates your lips. It's gonna do great. Like this winter is gonna be a cold one, so get your lanolin
Oh my god!
from the sheep.
I mean, your lips look really good. I mean,
I think you're gonna do it now. Okay, let me.
I don't know.
Okay, ready?
Have chap
So this is him.
This is the guy.
So these are the names of his videos. The Lord spoke to me, waiting on God, questioning the concept of hell. My Jesus testimony, I met the devil in a psych ward.
Oh, and he looks normal.
So cute. Should I go on the date?
No, Sophia.
Do you think he's going to turn me?
Sophia.
I've already been listening to 95.5, the Jesus station.
Because of him?
No, this is what I've been.
Oh, you have been.
You know I
Yeah.
love Christian music. I think it's amazing. I keep looking at the camera. There's nothing there. I love the Jesus station. So maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
Do not go on this date.
I don't know.
I won't feel bad for you if it turns out to be another instance like last
well, you
week.
know
I
what?
won't
in
feel
one
bad.
of the videos, it did say that he's using Jesus as an excuse to not have a job and just be an Uber driver. He was like, and I started working at, what was it? It wasn't Chimney Rock. I started working at Texas Roadhouse and I knew it wasn't for me. The Lord spoke to me. Jesus let me know that it wasn't right for me. And I'm like, he is literally like using Jesus as a scapegoat for not having a job, for not wanting a job or not like wanting to, you know what I mean? And then he was like, so I decided to just do Uber and I'm going to do Uber for a while until Jesus tells me otherwise. And it's really just like that. We're going to watch these videos later.
I mean, I guess there are people that really believe that.
Amen.
Whoa.
I don't know. Is it really judgmental of me to not go on the date?
No, you not going on the date has been established. I think if you go on a date with this Christian YouTube star,
I think I really just need to stop.
Yeah,
Stop dating.
Stop. No, don't stop
No,
dating.
no,
but
I think I need to stop dating.
be a little more conscious about who you pick.
Yeah.
Like 2% more.
Yeah. I think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to use dating apps anymore though.
Dating apps are fine. It was Hinge.
It was Hinge. You told me
I
go
did
on
tell
Hinge.
you.
Don't do Tinder. And I was like, I'm not going to do Tinder anymore. I'm only going to do Hinge. And of course, that's who I get.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy seems awesome. So I'm talking to him for maybe an hour, like a good healthy hour. We're not
Okay.
talking back and forth.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to find his YouTube. And I look it up and I'm like, okay, well, that's what my taste is. My taste always, I just always like someone who's a little off.
You really do. You
I don't
really,
mean it.
really do.
Like, what am I supposed to do about that?
I don't know.
I'm watching this show and it's having me I'm very, very skeptical about going on any dates.
Why? What show?
It's called Mindhunters. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's about
is it?
serial killers and this guy named Holden. He works for the FBI. It's all based on true stories. And he's studying serial killers because he doesn't think that it's due to them just he doesn't think that they're doing their killings for no reason. He thinks that there's more of a reason, and like that there's probably a pattern. And by studying these serial killers, they could find out who more of the serial killers are, like
By looking at their behavior.
by looking at their behavior. It's usually due to their mother.
You know, I know.
mother.
Yeah. Well, okay. You could really go into that. Have you ever read The Feminine Mystique?
No.
Have you read The Feminine Mystique, Pete? There's this whole section that talks about how the impact that the like housewife era of like the 50s housewife era of the 50s and 60s, what impact that had on the sons of those women. You never think about that. You just think about like the women and the women's movement and feminism.
Yeah.
But they raised a generation of boys who didn't know how to help themselves and were helpless. Like, I don't fully remember it, so I don't want to like, lay out the theory, but I'll literally brush up on it so I can explain it on here.
Brush up on it.
I remember reading that chapter of it and I was like, whoa, moms are at the root of a lot of boys' psyches. Like the way, I mean, I guess fathers are too, but like
it doesn't. I mean, these serial killers, like the first one they're studying in like the first season is Ed Kemper, and he was this crazy serial killer whose mom just kind of abused him and told him he wasn't good enough, and just like would burn cigarettes on him and whatever. Like he was just like
that's really scary.
He just like picked out really pretty women because his mother was pretty, and then he like at the end of it all he killed his grandmother, and then he killed his mother, and the way he did the killing was based off of the little things that he did to abuse. Like he said, my mom always liked to have people looking up to her, so the people that he killed before he buried in his backyard face up.
Ugh.
Like, he was like, my mom, but they are so smart.
Wait, what did he say this in, like an interview?
He's
like still around?
There's a real interview. So if you look at the show, it's all real interviews that happen, but just with an actor. But you could find the real interviews online. It's so interesting.
Oh, I want to be able to like sleep at
and
night.
My psychiatrist told me to watch it because he's like, I want you to watch this because the person that you went on a date with sounds a lot like Ed Kemper. And like his mother issues and everything. He was like, if someone does something traumatizing to this kid, you don't know, he's going to flip a switch and he might turn into that. It's like trauma causes that.
Yeah.
You know?
Clearly.
Yeah. But
that's
like,
really
so
scary.
And I'm like, we were talking about incels.
We
and
were joking about it, but like
he
the guy you saw.
It was really fucking freaky.
Yeah.
It was so scary. And like, we talked about the incels, and it's like literally that whole incels are like kind of this era, because I feel like there's not that many sociopaths anymore.
I heard on a podcast this morning, I was just like, John had Tiger Belly playing, and they were talking about incels, and they were like, Bobby Lee, who's like 45 or something, he was like, yeah, we had incels when I was well, let me get it out. He was like, yeah, we had incels when I was a kid. We just called them nerds. So it's just like, they just have more and more. There's more niche terms for like certain types of people.
Well,
I think incel came around when Reddit.
No, so
off,
incel, I was reading about it. Incel actually was a term that a woman created because she was actually a lesbian and she couldn't meet anyone. And she came up with this group. She had her own little web series, and it was just for like any person that was like an outcast and like didn't have sex and didn't want to have sex or got mad at people in relationships. So it was actually a term for everyone. And then she sold the web series because she found out she was a lesbian. And she actually, and then she was like, she came out and talked about it, and she's like, I'm so sad that I created this whole group of people that's like, because there was a guy that like recently saw like a cute couple walking hand in hand, and he like poured hot coffee on them. Like, they get actually angry.
Okay, see, I don't even like that there's actually a term for it, because I feel like it legitimizes those types of people as if they have like a condition. Like, I don't like that.
Well, it's like a cult now.
I know, but you say, oh, so-and-so is an incel. It makes it sound like it's unchangeable and it's legitimate. To like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand, but it's like, why would they want that? Why would they want to live up to that term? It's not a good term.
No,
it's.
Right?
I think the incel label comes from like the Reddit.
From Reddit.
Stuff, like,
yeah. It's like,
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know that was like a thing. It was like a kind of like an online.
It's an online cult. Yeah, if anyone didn't
What
hear
is
that,
it?
Pete just said it came from online culture, like Reddit culture.
Yeah, it did.
Because, of course, a lot of people who are on the internet all the time,
Yeah.
and like Reddit heads,
Yeah.
are more likely to be an incel. I just mean that
You can't find it anymore, like on the web like that, though. Like their little hate groups and everything.
No, they're,
Apparently,
like,
it's only on
hidden.
like the dark web or something.
Yeah, because they're that good at the internet because they never go outside.
Oh my
But
gosh.
also, I really don't like the idea that like it's kind of like when a terrorist attack happens or a shoot like a shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they put the face of the guy, the terrorist who did it, on the news, and it like famizes,
it gives
like they
them
make
fame.
Yeah, it's like a
Like
fame thing. So it's
glamorizing
like
them a little bit.
glamorizing them.
Yeah.
And I feel like having the term incel in the first, like, that's not a real thing to, like, resent love. That shouldn't be given its own type of, like, it's fucked up. There is no actual biological or legitimate basis about being an incel. Like, I hate that the term exists.
Well,
it's like,
I think
what,
it's
you
just-
just don't have sex and you were mad at the world for it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I think there is a word for everything now. And I don't know if it's actually like a psychological term though, or if if it's actually like a psychological term or if it's just like on the internet.
Well, it's talked about in a way where it's like, oh, it's okay. He's just an incel.
It's
like it forgives behavior.
The cell is celibate. What's the
Celibate.
N? Involuntary
celibacy.
Yeah.
What? Like, go fuck
Which
someone,
like
then.
that doesn't mean what they.
It's a choice to not have like. Oh, you can't find. There's 7 billion people in the world trying to fit in.
But
one person.
initially they want, but some of them apparently all of them don't have sex, right? It's none of them have
But
sex.
it's involuntary, meaning they feel like it's been done to them.
I guess.
I don't buy it. I don't buy into it. It's fucked up.
I mean, you don't need to buy into it. It's just a thing.
I know. I
Whether
just hate
you
how
like
it's
it or
been
not,
glamorized.
it's just a thing. But I know. I believe that. I don't like. I wish there weren't incels, but there just are.
Yeah.
Like my Tinder date.
Yeah.
He was
an incel.
But can't you just use sociopath?
Yeah,
at that point?
right? Like he's a jerk. How about that?
You're right. Actually, saying they're involuntarily celibate is.
I'm so sorry.
It's not
Like-
involuntary. You could. You just don't want to work on yourself.
Like, yeah, it's the
Go to therapy.
It's the most backwards fucking excuse of a like I don't
Nobody
like
wants to have sex with me, and now I'm all mad.
it. Right? Like that's what it is, right? Nobody wants to fuck me, and I'm mad at the world because of it. Is that what being an incel is? Am I coming up wrong?
Well, no, it's true. There was this one guy. Here's another story. There was one guy who like asked out this girl. She denied him, so she killed. And it was just like she had a boyfriend or something. Like she just didn't want to go on a date with him, so he killed her. And he's like part of that whole incel like clan.
Wait, he's not in jail?
I don't know. There's like a whole. Meg was telling me about it. I don't know if he's in jail or what happened. I'm sure he's in jail if it was all over the news.
Oh my god.
So awful.
Yeah, that's like really beyond like any sort of legitimacy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
In my opinion. I'm reading this book right now. You kind of made me think of it, called Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell.
I tried it, couldn't understand it.
It's very history based. It talks about, yeah, it is very new. And I'm reading it and I'm like really into it. And it's a nice break from all the stories I've been reading. It's like, did I talk about it on the last episode at all?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
You told
I'm
me
telling
about
everyone
it.
about
You
it.
told me about it.
It's really nice to read a book that's like reading like a college paper kind of. It's like he's proving a point
Yeah.
of a theory.
It's a lot of history.
He has a thesis.
Yeah.
It's a lot of history, but he does a good job of like concisely explaining it. I've had to Google some things, but the whole book is basically about how human beings, or I think he's trying to say Americans, not just human beings, like in American culture, we are so bad at understanding strangers when we think we're so good at it. And he was talking about how like there have been 2 instances in the past like 20 or 30 years, like in the late 80s and then again in the 90s, where some of the highest ranking members in the CIA were actually Cuban spies. And like they made it all the way to the top of our CIA. We're like the most renowned member. Like our intelligence, you know how fucking crazy the FBI and the CIA and
Yeah.
the NSA are, like and the DIA, they're crazy. And so and he went through the case of like how all the red flags that came up and how we like quote unquote ignored them. And basically the point he tries to make is that and I still don't know if he means humans or just Americans, we have this thing called truth default syndrome, or there's like a truth default theory where we are so, we like to believe that everything that is presented to us is true, period. And until the amount of doubts that come up past a certain threshold where it's undeniable that something's not true, we will rationalize away the doubts that like something is wrong here, like, or someone's lying to me. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, well, they're probably
that
just
didn't-
like,
yeah.
yeah, like if, for example, if like your boyfriend, you caught him like
Like, if you're-
texting a girl that, and you're like,
You
why are
would
you
try and
texting her?
rationalize with that. And be
You're
like, well, no, he was
like,
probably
"No, I
doing
didn't."
this.
And he, yeah, or if he says to you like, no, I really, I'm not. You'd be like, oh, well, he said he's not. So like, our brains want to believe that we are hearing the truth.
Is that necessarily a bad thing, though? I'm just sure it can get you in
he's
trouble.
now going into the chapter about how it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm interested to see what he says. But
Yeah.
he talks about, this is really interesting to me. This
You want to believe the best. You want
Right.
Yeah, you want to believe in good.
Right.
You're an optimist.
Right.
Not
That's-
everyone is. Some people are pessimists, though.
But not a lot of people are. Like now he's talking about Bernie Madoff and like there was one guy who knew about whatever. He talked about this really interesting experiment that like I don't know if people like these like college experiments from like the 60s. I think they're so interesting.
They're interesting when you tell me about them. When I was reading
Okay.
the book, I couldn't even follow.
So I'll tell you. So there was this one experiment where college students were brought in and they were given a trivia quiz and they were going to be, they had to see how many questions they could get right. And it was them and a partner. And then they had an instructor. And then during the test, the instructor would leave the room and say, they get called out. And they leave an envelope on the table with all the answers to the upcoming trivia questions. And the partner of the subject, there was two people, one subject and the partner. The subject didn't know this, but the partner was in on the experiment. And the partner every time would be like, hey, I think those are the answers. Like, should we go read them? And then some people would say yes, some people would say
like,
no.
yes.
And then
I want to read
after-
those answers.
Yeah. And so the partner always asked, like, should we go look? And whatever the subject said, it didn't matter. But after the test was over, the subject would get interviewed and they would say, the instructor left the room. When they left the room, did you cheat? And then the people would say yes or no, and then they'd be like, "If I brought in I'm bringing in your partner next to interview them, are they going to say the same thing?" And the person would say yes or no.
Yeah.
And when people watched the tapes back, they were only right half the time if someone was lying or not. But what's crazy, which is like, I guess some people are good, some people are obvious liars, some people would be not lying, but like people watching the tapes would think they were lying. Like,
Yeah.
but then they looked at the fact that not one person thought that their partner would be in on the experiment. Like
Right.
all the subjects, when this partner, every single partner, the instructor, you're in an experiment. You're doing a psychological experiment. The instructor leaves the room and leaves the answers on the table. And then your partner asks you, like when you read that back, you're kind of like, this sounds like the most like,
Yeah, why would they
set
cheat if they know
obvious-
they're in a psychological experiment?
Right, but not one person thought to think that the partner they were doing it with was in on it because they assumed this stranger was telling the truth of just being there.
Oh my God.
that so
That is-
interesting?
It's such a weird thing to even think about, though. Like, what's so random?
But it's like it's just crazy how much we root our beliefs in our surroundings to be true, I guess, because these people didn't even think to question the person they were with. They didn't see them as part of the experiment when they know they're in an experiment.
That's so weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I wish I could understand that book.
Did I explain it well?
You explained it wonderfully, but
Okay.
when I was reading it, I felt like I had to look up every single thing, and I was like, this is
Yeah.
going to take me years to read.
Well, it is taking me a long time, and there are a lot of references to history, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know.
That's definitely true about you. You have the most optimistic personality.
I do. I always.
You
I'm
always
so
believe
gullible.
the best.
I really do. People lie to me a lot as a joke, and I'm like,
But
don't do that.
I wouldn't think that it's most people.
It is though. You should keep reading the book. It's worth it. It's really good. Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell.
I'm reading The Institution right now. I can't read it.
by Stephen King.
Is it Stephen King?
yeah.
Stephen King. Yeah. It's amazing. It's about a telepath.
Right. Yes, you were telling me.
I'm not even going to go into it because I've only read 100 pages. And that's like only equivalent
Yeah.
to like 4 chapters at the first part.
oh right, because it's so long.
Yeah, it's a very long book. It's like 600 pages, but it's amazing. I
Yeah.
love a horror book. You told me to start reading some more stories, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, and I like that.
It's great.
I like that you're doing that.
It's great.
Horror books are fun. They're actually to me more scary than scary movies.
Well, it's
It's
apparently
like spooky. You
Yeah.
get chills when you're reading a horror book.
Well, he's like this genius that gets locked up in an institution. He gets taken from his house because he's a genius. He was going to get sent to an Ivy League school, and they trap him in this institution with all these kids with other that are gifted. And so then he's trapped with other gifted kids, and I guess they're going to torture him or something. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. I wish you would have read more since you last told me that.
I didn't.
But
I didn't
are you
have
going to
time.
keep reading
I'm
it?
going to keep reading. Are you getting down on me about not reading my
No,
books?
no.
About not reading my books.
No. Never. So, I have two things I want to talk about. I don't know which one to say. Do you have anything?
I have to open my little book.
Well, one thing I want to talk about, but I already like ranted about it on my Instagram story, so I feel like it's not worth putting.
Oh, I
on
do
here.
have one to talk about.
What?
Okay, so wait. Tell me about yours so I could think about how I'm gonna go into this.
You could just go into it.
Okay, so I'm allergic to dust, right?
Yeah.
I also found out I haven't been taking because it's been my prescription to take an Allegra every single day. So
You're prescribed like
it's just like that's what I have to take every day. So I ran out and I just didn't take two. Break out the first day I don't take it, I break out in hives. Like all over the place. So I am allergic to dust that's in the air. I know that.
I was gonna say I didn't know that you had been taking something for it.
But also I think I'm allergic to alcohol. I drank a little bit of alcohol yesterday and I broke out in remember when I was in high school, I used to get these like fat golf ball things on my lips?
Have said this before. No, I don't remember.
Okay,
that.
I have pictures of it. When I was in high school, I would be at like a party and I would just like get a random hive on my lip right after one drink. I'm like, oh my God, that makes sense. That's why like when I drink, I get so like crazy. I always black out. You know what I mean?
Do you always? You
I
actually
like pretty much always black out.
You do get really.
If I'm
drunk.
just drinking wine, I don't black out. But like if I drink hard liquor, I will always black out. And I don't even drink that much of it. I black out. But
Is that being allergic to alcohol?
Well, so I go to therapy and my doctor tells me, he's like, well, you know, it's an Asian gene to not be able to digest alcohol. And he told me what the enzyme is that most Asians have that they can't digest alcohol. So they sometimes their throat closes up, sometimes they break out in hives.
And like, what's it called? The glow.
Rosacea?
No, when Asian glow, is that what people say?
It's called acetaldehyde dehydrogenate.
No, and like when you're with someone who's Asian at like a party and then they get red in the face. What is that? There's a term for that.
I don't
like
know.
A colloquial term.
I don't know. Like hot face?
Asian, no.
Asian face?
It's called like Asian glow,
Asian glow?
or something. I think it's called
it's like
glow.
Asian glow.
Asha always gets really red when she drinks.
But I thought that was so interesting because I have that Asian gene too, that I don't have bad smelling odor. And I'm like, oh my God, it makes so much sense that I would have this enzyme.
Didn't your 23andMe come back from Asia?
Well, I did have a little bit of Asian in me.
How much?
I think, I don't even remember what the percentage was, but
Yeah.
I had a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like Iberian, I think. Iberian and there was some Azerbaijan. There's just random shit like that. I could believe that.
Yeah.
I have dark features like that.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means, but sure. The eyebrow vazon. What did you just say?
Azerbaijan.
Pete knows. Oh, Pete said
Azerbaijan.
it at the same time as you. You have a friend who's sorry.
Say two now.
Say it one more. Say it one more time.
You can't. You really can't say it.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. I said you better.
Azerbaijan. Baijan. Yeah, it's close to Armenia. So I have a little bit of that.
Azerbaijan.
In me, and that's why I can't drink, and that's why I don't smell.
One of those is good.
I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. And
think
like
that
now
is
that I
interesting.
think about it, I don't know if I'm totally generalizing Asians, but like I think about a lot of my Asian friends and they don't really drink much.
A lot of your
a
Asian
lot of my
friends.
Asian friends, they don't drink much. Well, think about it. I worked
How many Asian friends do you have?
Well, I worked at an Afghani restaurant. So I have I have a lot of Asian friends.
Wait, Afghan
Is Asia.
Oh, we talked about this.
Oh my
Middle
God,
East. Right,
people
right,
really
right.
don't know.
I really
their
don't
geography.
know. Well, as soon as you said the Afghan restaurant, I was like, well, they're not Asian, but they are.
They are Asian.
I
It's a
always
continent.
forget to include Indians in Asian. I don't know why.
Well, then
Asian
and there's
to
Russians
me is East
too.
Asian.
Oh yeah, and I'm Russian.
Russians are Asian?
Yeah, maybe I'm part of the Asian part of
No.
Russia.
It's not an exact thing.
Yeah.
It's half. It's like they're split.
Yeah, continents are also a little obsolete.
Well, it's the one thing I know. So can you give me that?
Yeah,
I know my continents real well.
You do. You do.
I do. Curly pubes. I want to
I
hear
was gonna
about
talk
it.
about
You
jobs.
released a big video today.
I did. I was going to talk about John's manic episode this morning, but
That
then I
w-
figured
I-
it's probably better that I don't. I released.
If we have time at the end, because it's so funny.
Well, he just came downstairs. He's sick, and he just got back from like I'm like trying to make sure he doesn't hear this. He just got back from like 4 weeks or like 6 weeks of like nonstop hard work between the movie, and he went to LA for something and all this stuff. And then this morning he never wakes up at the same time as me. He woke up before my alarm, and I heard him coughing. He like runs downstairs. And like he's having a coughing fit. I'm like, baby, are you okay? He's like, don't fucking ask me if I'm okay. Stop asking me if I'm okay. Because in the middle of the night, I tend to do this. I've been waking up in the middle of the night sometimes when I hear him rustling or something, and I'm like, are you okay?
So attentive.
I know.
You're the most attentive girlfriend.
The other night when he was sick, when he got home from LA, and he like fell asleep at 8 p.m. and then was up from like midnight till like 4 a.m. And I kept waking up in that time period. And I was like, are you okay? So then this morning he was like, stop asking me if I'm okay. And then I was like, I'm so sorry. And then we come downstairs and he was like, oh, wait, I'm trying to remember the order of operations here. He was getting so mad. He was like, I can't believe I'm fucking sick now. Like freaking out.
When men get
And then he was
sick.
like, oh, like really angry. And I was like, John, calm down. You've been like really going at it. And he was like, and you're really going to go to work right now when I'm fucking sick? You're really going to go to work when I'm sick?
Take care of me.
I would just like to say that like there was so much proof between him and my father, and I hope you will attest to this. And I'm sorry, Pete. When men get the common cold,
Oh my God.
it is the end of the world.
No, my dad's been sick his entire life, and I'm so scared that I'm going to turn into that because he says it's the Epstein-Barr virus, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be you. But every day he's like, oh, I don't feel good. He's like, honey.
It's a show.
He's like,
it's a theater
he's
act.
like, honey, can you get me? I just need a glass of wine. I need like wine. And wine's not going to cure anything. He's like, I need wine. Can you make me food? And then my mom has to tuck him in. I'm like, you're a little baby.
Yeah, no,
you're a
it's-
grown 60-something-year-old man who needs to
Yeah.
get tucked in right now.
I know, and there's something about it where, like, obviously the girlfriends
It's
and the moms,
cute.
we like it and we like to take care of them. But it's like even over text, he presents this thing of like, I'm sick. Like today, he was sleeping for most of the day. I was texting him like, "How are you feeling? How are you?" And I was like, "Can you answer me? Like, I'm getting worried." Because he was like, he took his Xanax this morning because that's how out of control he was about how sick he was. I was like, "Do you want to wear a robe?" And he was like, "You have a robe?" And I was like, yes, wear my robe. It'll make you feel better. Like that's the
So
level
now
we're at.
he's sick, but he's making himself more sick because of the anxiety of it all. So he needs his Xanax.
He took his Xanax that you left. You
that
gave
I
him.
gave him. I'm the drug dealer around
So
here.
I was texting him all like I was like worried. He like kind of freaked me out this morning, and so I'm like worried, and I'm texting him like, "Are you okay? Okay." He's not answering because he's napping, and then his message doesn't even deliver.
So you think he's dead?
I think he's
Naturally.
dead. And so then he finally texted me. He was like, "Hi, I just woke up," and I was like, "Oh my God," I was so worried. And he was like, "Broth."
That's it.
And I was like, "What?"
don't
And he
get
was
any
like,
other
"I need
words."
broth. I want broth." And I was like, "You want me to order you broth to the house?" And he was like, "Yeah, spicy Nona broth." And I was like, "Okay." So then I order him his broth, and then he FaceTimes me, and I answer the FaceTime, and I'm like, "Hi." I'm like still flustered from thinking he was in, and I'm like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hi," and I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Are you coming home soon?" And I was like, it's just so funny to me. How,
It's
like,
just, there's something, because I saw him when he came downstairs and he was still in that robe. And there's just something about the picture of him being like, hi, everyone. And just him in the robe being so pathetic.
he came downstairs and said to Sophia and Pete, he was like, Sophia was like, "I heard you're sick." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm watching Spider-Man. It's a movie about a hero."
You know, it's just like a
Movie
bit,
about a hero.
too.
Yeah, the whole thing's a show.
I'm sick.
I was talking to his mom and dad about it the other day, that we were talking about how like when he's sick, like you just better buckle in because it's gonna be a long ride.
I mean, I wish I was the woman that could take care of a man who's sick, though, because I am that man who's sick all the time. And I expect my
Yeah.
boyfriend to take care of me, and they never do. Because
well,
they
that's-
have that in them too. You know
To-
what I mean?
yeah.
To do that. And they're like, what? No, you're not sick. You're fine.
Yeah. Well,
My mom takes care
man
of me.
myself, and I'm like, I'm not sick. I've been like slightly sick for like a month now, and I'm like,
Have
I'm not
you
sick.
been?
Yeah, but I would never let
right,
you know.
right. You had.
I got a bit of a cough
You got a little bit. That's why you get better though.
because I deny it.
You deny it. And
I'm
you
an
just
earth
tell
sign.
yourself,
I gotta keep moving.
You tell yourself you're better. I'm like,
moving.
oh, and then I just sleep till like 12 p.m. until I feel better, which will be like next year.
Well, you actually have
I had to
Epstein-Barr.
quit my job because I have Epstein-Barr.
Yeah, and that's legitimate.
I have to. I just need to get all the sleep I can this year.
But you look awesome,
Thank
especially
you.
today.
I'm really thank you.
Great makeup.
I need it today.
I know. You
Oh,
have a day.
I really need it today.
It's a really cute shirt. Where is it from?
Urban Outfitters.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else?
I'm wearing my Aritzia
I
shirt.
know. You really went on a spree.
jeans, yeah.
You went on a spree.
Every
and you
day
just
when I
got
go in-
new shoes today.
I did just get new shoes. They just got delivered. I can't wait to open
I want
them.
to go on a spree. I haven't had one in a long time.
I'm done with it.
Well,
I'm done
you
with
got-
it.
you
You
got
haven't had
good
one in a long
stuff.
time. The last time you probably binge shopped was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was probably
That's
3 weeks ago. That's
not
a
a
long
long
time because I've been doing all summer every single week. I wanted a package every day.
Yeah.
Like every week.
It's
I wanted
nice
a
receiving packages.
It is. It's just like a little present ready for
I
you
would
on your
rather
doorstep.
split up an online order into each piece if I could do free shipping so that every day I receive something.
Actually, you know what? My last order was last week, and it was just the jewels that I. It
Oh
was the
my
jewels. I
God.
went to a party last
Yeah.
week with you after we recorded Guffanti, and the entire party, because I was so Vyvanced up, I was just sticking at cyber speed, sticking jewels all over people's faces.
You were.
just little gems all over people's faces. Everyone.
Yeah, you literally
I almost
everyone.
asked, "Do you, Pete?" I was like, "Do you guys want jewels?"
She
I wanted
put
to
them
give
on
jewels.
John's 14-year-old brother on his tooth.
I tried on his tooth. It slipped right off. Now he has glue in his mouth.
And then you put it on his eyebrow. You give him an eyebrow piercing.
we
He's
gave
14.
Jamie a nose ring and a brow ring.
Yeah, we
everyone.
did.
You had a Monroe, and you looked so pretty with it.
I did have a Monroe. And that
trying
was the
to-
only one I let you put on me.
You wouldn't do anything else. That would be the only piercing you'd get.
I would never even get the piercing. I would never pierce my
Right? You would
face.
never do that to your body. Not cool. You don't care about the way you look.
I do care about the way I look.
I know, and that's why you won't do it.
Yeah.
That's why you won't do it.
It's Yom Kippur.
Oh my God! Happy
Happy
Yom
Yom
Kippur. What are
Kippur.
you doing to celebrate, broth?
Nothing. Yeah. I've been drinking. So I'm on this broth binge now because John got me into it. There's this place right near my apartment called Brodo.
Wow.
They probably have vegetarian broths.
But everywhere
actually,
has
does that
vegetarian.
exist?
Yes, you can get the bourguignon. That's vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You even the bully.
It's bourguignon.
Okay. You
Bulli-
know every fucking weird word in the dictionary,
I know food.
and you know chemical terms of things.
I love chemicals that help.
Yeah. What is it? Lanolin.
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 I just know facts.
And you wrote another one down
I
here.
have to
saw.
remember this one. Acetaldehyde dehydrogenate.
And that's the Asian enzyme you have.
And that's the Asian enzyme that doesn't help me break down alcohol.
I've
have.
been on this broth binge. It's really good. It counts as like a meal having broth. It's like the same
There's
thing as
nutrients in it.
yeah. So like I initially got it for John because when he was coming home from LA, I was like, naturally I'm feeding into. I want to. You
wanna take care of him.
So I was like, do you want anything in the world? When you walk in the door, like, what do you want? And he was like, seltzer and your ass in my face. And I was like, okay, aside from those.
With a bow.
With a bow.
We
I was
discussed a bow.
gonna buy a bow and put it on my ass.
I wish I jeweled your ass.
I know. But then he fainted on the plane, and so whatever. But so we were at his parents' apartment, and I was like, you want Brodo? And he was like, yeah, I want Brodo. So it's this broth place near my apartment.
That sounds amazing.
There's a couple in the city, and it's a broth shop, and you can buy broth as if it's like a cup of coffee.
Oh my God.
And you drink the broth, and it's so tasty. I was just sipping it through this whole episode. They've got spicy Nona broth. They've got-
Spicy Nona sounds good.
it is good. They've got chicken broth, beef broth, beef broth.
Beef broth.
And it's really, really good. I had it last night. Like it like fills you up a bit, and it's like
I don't think it
Good
would be
for
high
you.
in like it would be like a whole like there wouldn't be enough calories in like one cup.
no. But
to
if
fill
you're
you.
like no, but if you're someone who like doesn't really like breakfast, or like you're never hungry for breakfast, and you have a cup of broth in the morning. It
I
kinda
wouldn't like that.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Ew. That sounds,
sounds so
disgusting.
gross.
Oh yeah, have a little bit of broth with your cup of coffee.
Because broth kind of smells like breath.
Ew.
We all know broth smells like dog breath.
If you're having broth for breakfast, you better get the fuck out of town.
I had broth this morning for breakfast.
Well, if
During
anyone's
John's
wondering why
manic
Emily's
episode.
getting so skinny, it's because she's eating broth and only broth.
Well, maybe I should stick to it. It's working.
Maybe there's an egg diet. Maybe I should go on that.
Oh, you would.
I
You
would
so would.
love the egg diet.
What's the egg diet?
So it was like a really old diet. I think it's real. It's just like 2 eggs at every meal, and you can make them different ways, and you could have a glass of wine. The egg diet.
So your whole meal is eggs.
Everything is an egg. You
That
can have your
sounds
hard-boiled
so bad
egg in the
for
morning,
you.
your scrambled egg in the middle of the day, and then you can have your eggs over medium at night.
Wait, and you eat nothing else?
They're just eggs.
That sounds like it's terrible for you.
Just a protein diet.
One thing?
It's a supermodel diet. It doesn't mean it's good for you.
Wow.
I'd probably get so skinny, and I'd be so happy because I'm just eating my favorite food all the time.
I can't believe your favorite food is actually eggs.
I will never. I tried because that one girl told me about if you guys know about Epstein-Barr and the medical medium, he says that eggs feed viruses, and so you can't have eggs. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Fuck the medical medium. He knows nothing, and I was so all for everything he was saying. I was doing my celery juice in the
I
morning.
know, but as soon as he took away eggs from you,
When he took away eggs, I was like, you're dead to me. Eggs are not feeding my virus. They're only making me better, and they're making me happier.
oh,
Placebo effect. Eggs make me feel better.
eggs are definitely not eggs are so yesterday.
Oh my God, no, they're not.
If you go to a brunch spot and order eggs, come on.
I look like an egg. I eat so many eggs. My face shape.
I look like an egg in my Curly Pews music video.
Yeah, you do.
There's footage of me in a bald cap, and I actually look like an egg.
I wish you could just talk about like how you came up with curly pubes.
I'll tell the Curly Pube story, and then we'll call it an episode.
Okay.
So I just released a music video and a song today called Curly Pubes. And so the story of how it came to be was I was coming home from a piano lesson on the Upper West Side, and I was walking, and this man catcalled me, and he said, "You know what they say, curly hair, curly thoughts."
curly thoughts.
And I was like, curly hair, curly. I thought he was gonna say curly hair, curly pubes.
Curly thoughts is so cute too.
I know. And so I was like so thrown off by it. I immediately pull out my Instagram story. I start talking about it on my Instagram story. I'm like, this man just catcalled me and said curly hair, curly thoughts. I thought he was going to say curly hair, curly pubes. And then I was like, but I guess that's a curly thought that he would say curly pubes. I guess that's what he
do
means.
the curtains match the drapes.
And that's what I thought he was going to say. And then this literally all unfolded in a series of stories. I should post it as a highlight on my profile so you watch curly pubes
so you
unfold.
can see the evolution of curly pubes.
And I was like, wait, but doesn't everybody have curly pubes? Like, why would he just say that to me? Everybody's got curly pubes. And then on my story, I was like, everybody's got curly pubes. And then I was like, mark my words, I'm making a song called Curly Pubes. And then I went home that night and sat on the piano. I said to John, I was like, John, song idea. Everybody's got curly pubes. 1 or 2. Everybody's got curly pubes. At least a few. And then, then I came on the piano and I started like dinking out the chords and like doing it. And I was like, this is it. This is it.
it's a hit. It's a #1 hit.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched it yet, or, please, listen, give it a watch.
Check out
share
Curly
it.
Pubes.
Curly Pubes. We've all got them.
Check them out.
Yeah.
Check
All
out
right.
your. But you know what? Not everybody has curly pubes.
I know.
Take it from a waxer
Yeah. You would
who
know.
has
But
Chinese
hey,
genes.
I said,
Who has Chinese Asian genes and has straight pubes.
but I said, everybody's got curly pubes. 1 or 2.
Yeah,
At
you
least
have.
one of them.
You have to have 1 or 2.
You've got one curly pube
If you don't
down
have
there.
one curly pube, you haven't looked hard enough.
Yeah. Maybe it's in Uranus. And with that, have you learned anything?
Well, everybody's got curly pubes, 1 or
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. And I learned about linoleum.
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 It's sheep sweat that you're going to put on your lips this winter.
All right. Nipple hydrator. Thank you so much for listening to Guffanti Brunettes. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.